Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are holding a seminar discussing about what do you know about climate change. I'm actually not quite smart in this topic, but don't worry, as I am accompanied by a few guests. They are Vanessa, Angel, Catherine, and Kaka. These guys are the one that will explain the information about their own topic based on some frequently asked questions and figure models. The topics are as follows: global carbon dioxide emissions, transportation, natural disaster and global warming, also sea level rise and global warming. To the first guest, Miss Vanessa, you may proceed to explain your topic.
Hello everyone, my name is Vanessa Putri and today I will be talking about global carbon dioxide emissions. So the discussion is number 1. Look at figure 1. Which countries produce the most and least total carbon dioxide emissions? So the answer is the countries are China and Japan. China is the country that produce way more carbon dioxide than Japan. Japan is the least country that proceed to have the least carbon dioxide between the other countries. Then topic number 2. Look at figure 2. Which countries produce the most and least carbon dioxide emissions per person? The answer to that is United States and India. Number 3. Why do you think some countries have high total emissions but low per person emissions? In my opinion, it's because that the number of citizens for each countries are different. Even if the emissions per person is low, but the citizens are many, then the total emissions will be high. And the reason why is that maybe because China is a country that has many industries and factories, so the total carbon dioxide is not per person but from the factories. That's why the carbon dioxide is way higher. Number 4. Do you think these countries can all lower their carbon dioxide emissions in the same way? How should their approaches be similar or different? Yes, these countries can reduce carbon dioxide by using private vehicles, planting trees, and other good things.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa, for explaining about global carbon dioxide emissions. So that is for this topic. All right, now we can continue to the second guest, Miss Angel.
Okay, my name is Angel. Today I'll talk about transportation. Look at the figure. Which areas of the world have the most cars per person and which have the fewest? Well, based on the graphic, Western Europe has the most car per person and Africa has the fewest car per person. The second question are, why do you think there is such a big difference in the number of cars in different parts of the world? Do you think that will change in the future or stay in the same? Well, in my opinion, there is such a big difference in the number of cars in different parts of the world. Why? Because not all countries have their own cars factories. Some of them need to buy important cars from other countries and they have to pay extra for the tax and the shipping. I think this number can change a little bit depending on the people. Will they still buy new transportation or they gonna start using public transportation? The third one, how can we convince people to stop buying and driving cars? Well, I think it's hard to convince people to stop buying new cars and driving their own cars. But everyone should know that there are 3 reasons why you should start using public transportation. First of all, cars are extremely bad for environment. Secondly, cars are super duper expensive. Thirdly, downtown parking prices are going up, sorry. Okay, that's all for me. We can next to the next topic.
Thank you, Angel, for explaining about transportation. Wow, that's a lot of information. Shall we continue to Mr. Kaka?
Yeah, hi, thank you. Okay, so let us first think. What type of disasters has increased since around the 1980s? Well, data has shown that there are increased numbers on storms and floods and extreme temperature droughts that has slowly been increasing the past few decades. But other than that, seismic events aren't really relevant anymore. But here locally, I have seen multiple amounts of storms and floods happening very recently. Although we have seen more of them in Jakarta and the areas in West and Northern Java, I do think that there are specifically more flood risk, which is exceptionally 44% in Kalimantan, especially Gorontalo. Now, the risk assessment on floods and storms are very crucial since, in just one night, one can lose their homes, their belongings, even their loved ones. In recent years, the Ministry of Finance has strengthened its strategy and approach to expand beyond physical recovery and reconstruction to proactive financial management of disasters. The strategy keys are as follows: protect the state budget through a dedicated mechanism to efficiently manage central government disaster expenditures. Second, strengthen central regional fiscal coordination through clear roles and responsibilities for financial disaster response. Protect state assets through an indemnity insurance program to cover all agencies and ministries. Protect household and the poor, for example, through adaptive social safety net programs. And strengthen VRFI coordination through training and dissemination of the strategy among related institutions. These are the programs that help people who have recently been hit by floods so that their financial needs will be covered by the government and also, well, multiple financial officers. So yes, it's a very dangerous thing that these natural disasters keep happening.
Thank you, Kaka, for explaining about natural disaster. But I have a question of my own. Can you actually predict what and when a disaster will happen?
So far, there are technologies that can do that, but unfortunately, we can't really pinpoint it. If it storms, we can't figure that out. But because of ocean acidization and also other multiple factors, thanks to global warming and climate change, we can't exactly predict it. So unfortunately, no.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Anyway, let us continue to the last guest, Miss Catherine.
As for the last topic is about sea level rise and global warming. So the first question is, look at the photos. What do the red area shows? The red area shows the location and risk. The location and risk by the effect of the sea level rise. And the second question is, what places will be most affected by the sea level rise? The first ranking country is China with 4% of the population. It may sound a little, but it actually consists of 50 million people in risk. The second list is Vietnam with 26% of population and 23 people at risk. The third one is Japan with 10% of population and 12 million people in risk. The fourth one is India with 1% of population and 12 people in risk. The fifth one is Bangladesh with 7 population in risk, and it consists of 10 million people in risk. And fun fact, lots of fun fact, Indonesia is in the 6th rank of the area in danger for the sea level rise, and actually with 4% and 10 million people in risk. For the third question is, what will happen to the people who live in the areas that close to the sea? Flooding and storm surges associated with sea level rise increase for drowning, injury, and displacement. Increased coastal flooding and storm also rises the risk of indoor mold growth from the excess damages, will impact on respiratory disease. And the last one is, how will the sea level rise affect people who do not live close to the sea? Changes in the sea level affect people through flooding. When the water in river cannot flow into the ocean because of the sea is too high, and when the seawater surges onto the land during storm, if the seawaters cannot find its way to form, it can harm our drinking water and our ability to grow crops.
Thank you, Catherine, for explaining about sea level rise. And with that, we will close this seminar session. I think to sum it up, I have come up with a conclusion. We can already see the impact of climate change, and we can't change the fact. But even though, we can't just ignore everything about it. We hope this seminar can expand all of our knowledge and encourage everyone to care more about climate change. And again, thank you for the information given by the guests, and also thank you for all participants for listening. We bid farewell. Bye.